Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a new kit conspiracy reveal of the new collection that we are using this week. And this is Arden, Hidden Creek. And this is the one that is by Katie, the designer that used to work for 49 and Market. I thought this collection looked a lot like her other 49 and Market collections, and it really does. I probably wouldn't have bought it with the exception of it has that pretty teal blue color in it that I absolutely love, mixed with the green and the yellow and the browns, and I wanted to see what it was like. So I went ahead and ordered the laser cuts, the die cuts, and only the 8x8 pad. I did not order any 12x12 papers. They only come in a pad, and I didn't want the whole pad. So I decided to go with the 8x8 pattern papers and see what I could do. So I did bring in a lot of 49 and Market just because I knew it was going to match, and I wanted to have more embellishments because, like 49 and Market, this type of paper I believe needs a lot, and it just makes it look even better. So that's what I'm going to do. So I brought in some rub-ons, mainly from Nature Study. This die cut or laser cuts are from Nature Study also. I brought in these leaves, but they're actually for a layout that's not part of this kit here. So I'm going to put those to the side. And then these ones here are just black negatives, and I thought those might work with some of the layouts. I haven't used them yet, but I might. And I also brought in some chipboard and some other acetate pieces from, what is that, Crafty Garden. So I have this yellowish green colored paper. It's yellow on this side, but it's more of a green on this side. And it's going to match some photos that I picked out to scrapbook. And then that's going to be the base paper. So that's what most of these ones are. Is they're going to be either backgrounds or I'm adding them in because I need the color, basically. But that one really matches the Arden Creek one. I mean, it totally looks like the same paper, but I kind of felt like I was cheating on 49 and Market, which is kind of funny because I don't design for 49 and Market. I don't own 49 and Market, nothing, but it seemed like the same type of papers, except for the quality is not the same. So if you think you're getting them and you're going to have 49 and Market papers, you're really not. Their paper is very thin compared to 49 and Market, and the die cuts or the laser cuts were a little bit harder to pull out of the laser cut packaging. I tore a few of the leaves because they are very small. So just a few things to think about. These are the photos that I've picked out to use with the collection as we go through the week. So far, I have 4 layouts planned. I have 2 already done, so I only have 2 more to do, and I should have 4 up this week. So I will explain more about the photos as I scrapbook them. I'm going to start with a double page layout. And this one here is my son playing in Denver City Park. So we had went to the zoo, and after riding around in the zoo, he was still full of energy. He's a little 3-year-old, and he wanted to go play at the park also. So we went and played at the park for a little while, and they had like a wood structure park. It's different now. It's totally a different park than it was back then. This was about 4 years ago. So yes, it's definitely been updated and different. I'm just showing you the pieces that I picked out to use with the photos. I pulled out the rub-ons knowing I would probably use a few of them. Not sure which ones yet, so I'm just showing all of them. And then I did go through all of the die cut packs and laser cuts and pulled out anything that I thought would work with this layout. Majority of what I show does get on the layout, with the exception of the butterflies. I just decided not to use the butterflies, and these 2 larger leaves actually don't make it on the layout. Neither does that little square frame. I thought I was going to use that for part of my title area or somewhere on the layout, I end up not using it. But I pulled it out. I also have lots of little labels and bugs. There's little bugs in the collection, and then there's a little like chipmunk that's up with it's already set in a cluster with like a little butterfly and stuff. That makes it on the layout. The little bugs, I believe, make it on the layout. And then all of the little tiny leaves make it on the layout. This is the paper from the Hidden Creek that I choose to use, which is just the brown polka dot paper. For this one, I really didn't use a whole lot of the Hidden Creek papers. I used the embellishments, but not a whole lot of the papers. Just because I'm going to use this one here as the background. And then the green one, I actually don't end up using. The blue one I use because it matches his shorts better than the teal color that is in the Hidden Creek collection. But I really like the way the layout turns out in the end, and I think it's kind of cute. And I probably could have created it with all of my 49 and Market stash without buying the Hidden Creek. But that's okay because I really do like the Hidden Creek collection. And I know that it'll fit in well with the 49 and Market, and it will get used eventually. So here I have the larger photo. This was a 5x7 photo, but it's been trimmed down. I didn't measure it to see what size it's actually trimmed down to. I believe it's a 5x7 now with the frame on it. I think I just trimmed a little bit off of it so that I could frame it. But like I said before, his photos are already cut down and in his album. Not planned out, but like, I don't know. I don't know why I cut them down. I just did. But at least I cut them down into squares or rectangles or whatever shape. I didn't cut them into circles or fussy cut around him or anything like that with them. So they're still very usable pictures. So here I'm going to add a little cluster up here at the top of the photo. This is one of the rub-ons, and that was just to add a little bit more color up there at the top. And I am adding in just a little bit of that teal blue color here and there, mainly in the rub-ons. And some of the embellishments have it in it, but for the most part, I'm going with the darker blue. That was a little rub-on, like leaf branch. This little squirrel is going to make it up here, or actually I think it's a chipmunk. It's going to make it up here at the top for a little embellishment up here, along with this other little rub-on leaf. And then I'm going to actually cover up what it says on that little ephemera piece. I think it says Adventures, and I could have left that, but I'm going to cover it up. And instead, I'm going to add the word Denver with the stickers these are from Doodlebug. And these are like, they're like a puffy plastic. I don't know. I really like them. And I have them now in white and black. And I'm trying to use up these brown ones. I only have probably a few more words I can spell out with them. I'm getting very low on vowels. I have no more E's, no more A's. I have I's and O's. And U's, but nothing else besides that. So, and I don't think I have any T's, or I might have used my last R also. So it's getting I'm not going to be able to use them very much longer. But I do have quite a few numbers left, and I am going to put the date on this layout with them also. So here on this little tag, I'm putting Stay Curious because I thought that was kind of fitting for him just playing around in a playground and taking cute pictures for me. And he was so funny. At this age, I'm literally chasing him around the playground trying to get a picture of him because he was Mr. Go-Go. He ran and ran and ran and played and played and played. He loved to be outside. So I was just letting him run around and play and trying to get pictures here and there. And there is like 2 or 3 more layouts in his album from the same day. But this one here I just thought was cute, which is the playground structure, and he's hugging on this little pole and taking a picture. So I thought that was kind of cute. I added City Park up there at the top with green letters, and those are from, what is her name? Amy Tangerine. Those came in a collection long ago, and I still have them in my stash. And I'm gonna put these two brown papers together to make it long enough to reach 11 inches. And that's gonna go right in the middle, and then I'm gonna put those other three photos on top of this brown paper. And I'm gonna tuck this one in, line up the dots, and then I'm gonna trim it off. So I was inking up the edge. I'd actually inked up the wrong edge of the dot paper. So that's why I had to tuck it in instead of putting it on top. And then I'm going to have to rub the ATG off because I don't want it stuck there. So I'm just rubbing it off my finger. ATG is so forgiving. I think that's why I use it the most, because when you make a mistake with it, you can just rub it off. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to stay. Until you leave it for a while. It'll eventually turn permanent, but for the most part, you can just rub it right back off if you put it in the wrong place. I added that little blue paper over there on the right-hand side of the brown dots, and I was deciding if I was going to add one on the left or not. It's kind of a little bit close to the larger photo on the left-hand side, but I do decide in the end to add it, but it's not going to get added on till the very end. These negative strips from 49 and Market, I added a little piece of actually I think that's the back side of the green paper. So the green paper did kind of sort of make it on the layout, I guess. I think that's what that one is. I'm not sure, actually. That might be the back side of the background paper, the cream colored paper. Either way, it's going to go just in the negative so that it adds a little bit of something behind the negative. I don't like to leave those empty, so I decided just to add paper, and then I used my decal edge scissors to cut off the top and the bottom. I do that almost any time I use these negatives. I just think it looks better, so that's what I do, is cut it off. And then I'm going to add another rub-on over here where that leaf is, and it's the same like circle. I forgot the name of that circle. But, it has lines and stuff on it, so I'm just adding that over here. And most of it's going to get covered up by the embellishments, but it does peek out and it adds a little bit of interest. And I get some more of my rub-ons used up. So doing the same thing over here on the left-hand side. So the left and the right are pretty much going to be exactly the same except for the colors. I did green on that side and then I did yellow on that side. And there is yellow in the photo. You can see it on like the woodwork of the playground. So I thought that was kind of fitting. Plus, the yellowish color background, plus the yellow butterfly up there by the title. So it adds yellow in a different place. And then I will add a little bit more yellow over here on this side that I'm working on now. I keep hopping back and forth from the left to the right. But on the left-hand side, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow down there just to blend it in a little bit more. So these little cute flowers, I just added those in for a little pop of blue, and they match the blue paper that I matted the photo with. And then that little like flower, it has like a little yellow button on it, so I added that over there. A couple more little labels and tickets, and I added blue and green ones of those, and then those little like other tickets that are solid, those are in green and brown, and I added those. And that just brings in, you can see the green in the top photo, and then there's green in the two leaves on the left and the right, and green in the title. And it brings it all together. So when I'm adding into the clusters, I always try to add in the same colors. So if I add blue, I'm going to add blue to all the clusters, or yellow to all the clusters, green to all the clusters. And then it takes your eye around the layout and helps you just look around. I put a little J up there at the top in that heart, a little wood grain heart, and then it says Explorer up there also. Over here, I'm going to add the date, which is May 11th, 2001. So yes, these photos definitely needed to be scrapbooked, and it is complete. I was deciding if I'm going to put that blue strip in. I decide I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and add it on the layout, and it is going to complete the layout. After that, I thought about adding like flat back pearls or sequins, something else, but I decide not to and just go with what I have here. So I hope you guys like what I created today. I hope you guys are following along and checking out everybody else's Kit Conspiracy Kit, and especially MK Gunn and Janet Fritz, who put this all together. I love playing along because I always get layouts finished, and sometimes I use collections that I might not have bought to begin with. So here's a few close-ups of all of the layout, and I should have another video up tomorrow. I'm not sure if it'll be Hidden Creek or a different one. It depends.